Hello. So today we're going to be going over a VOD. This one's going to be a duelist game. So the VOD started a little bit later. I don't know exactly what the portal is here, but we'll see when we get there. What added effects there are, but I don't think it's super high impact. Essentially, what we're kind of playing towards is duelist just based on our augments. We'll see after, right? So right now, I'm kind of unsure exactly what I'm playing towards. I'm okay with playing like a Reaper, like Yone slash what's it called? A Yone or other dude. What's his name? Kane. As you can see here, I have like an Edge of Night, right? This is an Edge of Night, Eon, and I see Idealism. So I kind of just decide that like if I want to tempo slam and kind of play around the items that I have, I could just play like Hodge Edge of Night. Now it's not necessarily the greatest thing to play, but you know, in my head I'm thinking like, yeah, probably an okay set of items to kind of itemize towards. Here I'm deciding if I itemize the Yasuo or not, and I'm kind of thinking towards like, you know, I have this opener. Maybe I can play like Heavenly, maybe I can play Duelist, right? I just want to play like a melee champ, right? That's the main thing. I want to play some sort of melee champ. That's my flex or guide or idea, right? As we can see here, there's somebody with keepers, so I know they're playing Duelist. I know I'm kind of flickering. It's not the easiest thing to see, but I'm just kind of like, especially early game when I scout, a lot of times I'm just trying to like quickly see augments, quickly see item carries, so I'm just looking at like this corner, and then sometimes I look at like these two corners and I just flicker through everybody in my scouting. I don't have Duelist in, right? It's not necessarily the strongest opener. I don't think Idealism is necessarily like the greatest item to take. It's just from the other options, like I wanted to kind of slam items and preserve HP. That's kind of like the game plan that I usually like to take. So if I see like if I see an item here and then I see an augment that either item synergizes or works with that really well, then I'll just go for it, right? Edge of Night, when you're playing Duelist, is not really that great on like a Lee Sin, right? If you're playing vertical Duelist, but it is really good on Kiana, right? So if I hit like an early Kiana or early Kiana 2, I can really save a lot of HP because these item sets are really good on Kiana, and Kiana is very strong, right? I think like some people joke like Kiana 2 is like 1.5 Lee Sin, you know? It's kind of like, you know, Kiana 2 isn't as strong as a Lee Sin 2, but Kiana 2 is definitely way stronger than a Lee Sin 1. So it matters a lot to play around these early game units. And we'll see how the other augments kind of work out to be, but, you know, it is what it is. Sorry, my inking wasn't working, and now it should be. Sorry, I just came back from a walk, and I'm planning on streaming right after this video. So if you're watching this video, I'll probably be live by the time this video is up. But, you know, I want to do like one little last like kind of grind stream before the next patch, and then I wanted to like play the next patch the day after. And we did our patch review the day before. If you like my content, like I always say, make sure to like and subscribe. We're almost at our sub goal of 500 YouTube subs. We're at around like 450. So it's pretty cool. You know, here, like Rageblade is good for Irelia, but it's not really good for anybody else until then. So I just take the Warmogs because like both these items are pretty bad. I think it was probably Guinsoo, but in my head I figured that like Warmogs can maybe preserve me a little bit more HP, right? Like I can put on somebody to tank a little bit more. But I think in terms of like items, like even Guinsoo isn't even that bad on Tristana if you play like a Tristana with a Runaan's, right? Tristana is really good at like, you know, nowadays people don't really play Duelist for the sake of like rerolling Tristana Volibear. A lot of times you just play it to play Lee Sin Irelia. I positioned really badly against this guy. So as you can see, the Kiana is just always getting like full value on her cast. She's like always like hitting everybody, which is really bad for me. I might still manage to beat this guy even though he has keepers. Just because the this is what I was saying with like the Warmogs might be better value, right? Guinsoo wouldn't really be that good on Yasuo, but it would be a lot better on like a Tristana. And I think that like having the extra Warmogs HP really helps you sustain yourself, especially with like Edge of Night. Like it makes it so it doesn't proc that long until like a lot later, and then you kind of have like the second lease of life. It's really nice. It's not a good Yasuo item because Yasuo you really want to just have like armor MR, right? Yasuo's ability is like very scaling on armor and MR, so stuff like gargoyles are really good on Yasuo. Anything that has a chain or a a chain or a cloak component. That's why Edge of Night, I kind of decide to itemize this guy. But sometimes, like, when you have a duelist items, a lot of times I itemize this Kabuko, because Kabuko actually does a lot of damage, especially if you have like AP-esque items. Early game, you can really itemize this Kabuko and save a lot of HP, even outside of like Lucky Paws and that type of thing. Here I take another glove. Glove is half of a Hodge component, right? When you take something like Idealism, it starts to get value when you have a lot of the same item, right? Idealism basically gives you, like, for every Hand of Justice, or Hodge is just short, like HOJ, right? But for this item, basically, as when you hold this item, they do 12% more damage, right? So it's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty interesting to, like, if you have itemized like this, basically you just make like a bunch of them, and you can put them on like a lot of the duelists, right? Like, you can put one on Irelia, you can put one on Lee Sin, you can put one on Kiana. So if I just happen across more, it's a lot more value. A lot of times you usually take these augments, like there's this one like Hodge, and there's Fully Adapted, which gives you Adaptive Helm, the Edge of Night one that gives you Edge of Night, right? A lot of these items are really good when you have multiple sets. So a lot of times you usually only take these if you have, like, you know, let's say you have like glove, like you have Hodge components on bench. It's like, oh yeah, I can just make like 2 or 3 of these and give my whole board like a bunch of damage amp, right? Other than that, a lot of times it doesn't really work as that much value. Here I'm holding on to Reapers. My bench is getting a little bit expensive, right? I'm definitely sacrificing a little bit of econ here, which is basically from indecision, right? As you can see, I can definitely make econ. And I could have maybe even made 20, right? I have a 2 cost, a 3 cost, another 3 cost here, right? Upgrade, right? There's a lot of, like, my board's very expensive. I am streaking, but, you know, it's a little bit risky. I definitely have to sell some stuff. The reason I'm holding on to these Reapers is because I'm not against Idealism. Reapers do extra crit chance, so having components that use a glove is really nice, because the glove kind of synergizes with that extra crit chance and extra damage. Just because, like, even if you don't look at the component, like the item itself and its ability of the item, just whenever you build an item based on the components, you do get the buff of those components. So for example, gloves give crit chance, so when you're making a Hodge, it inherently has crit chance built in, right? That's why, like, sometimes you'll hear me say, like, you know, make sure your items synergize, right? Like, if you're going for a crit build, it doesn't matter if you have IE, as long as you have like a bunch of glove items that boost the crit chance, because every glove item will give you a little bit of crit chance, right? In addition to whatever ability it has. But anyways, I digress. I made econ, right? I made 20. I am a little bit broke, but I am 4 streaking, so it compensates because I'm level 5. I'm level 5 30 gold, right? I will make econ again here. I'm probably gonna sell some of these. I'm holding on to Gnar, and because what if I just happen across like a Gnar 2? Then I can also play Dryad reroll, right? I know that I was saying like, ooh, this might be a duelist, but like melee items, remember I was talking like Reaper and Duelist, right? Another option is Dryad reroll, right? Idealism, and actually if you look at the stats, I'm not going to pull up the stats this video because I'm kind of like, I'm kind of having more of a chill day, right? You know, just trying to, like, you know, just do stuff, right? So I don't want to like overdo it, but like these, I can easily just pivot into like a Dryad reroll from the spot, right? So I sell the Rek'Sai, even though I might play Dryad. I just really need to make 30, and I want to hold on to these ones because I don't know if I'm going Reaper because I have a Yone, and I don't know if I'm going Dryad because I have a Dude, and I don't know if I'm going Duelist, honestly, because, like, you know, that's another thing that could happen. But we'll see what I end up hitting later, right? Here I'm trying to figure out who I itemize. It's probably this guy, almost assuredly. Ooh, Even Shroud first. That's a little bit risky. Yeah, I guess Even Shroud is the right pick. So the reason I'm making Even Shroud is because I'm going to make another Hodge, right? Every time I get a glove, I'm going to make a Hodge. And the only way to make Shred is either Even Shroud or Last Whisper, right? This guy rolled too slow. He has Kabuko 3 on bench, so I'm just going to beat him, I'm pretty sure. If he had Kabuko 3, there's a chance that I don't beat him. But yeah, this guy's going to be really scary. Having Kabuko this early, he's going to have a lot of econ building, so I'm really happy that I fight him this stage. And I kind of am able to hit him for some damage before you know, he fully spikes in power. I have 2 rods. It's a little bit scary though, because especially with Duelist, there's not really much you can use the rods for. Rods are really good in the Reaper comp because you can put it on Alune or Kindred depending on what you hit. Combat Caster is really strong here. I wouldn't mind Combat Caster, but then I see Keepers. And like I said, I do have an okay duelist spot. It's not the best duelist spot because I don't have like the greatest Lee Sin items. Lee Sin really likes Bloodthirster, Sterix. He likes like more Omnivamp, more shielding, more tankiness. So, you know, Hodge and especially like Edge and Knight. I think Edge and Knight's really bad on Lee Sin because Lee Sin, you usually want to drain tank, right? You want Lee Sin to like absorb a lot of damage as a frontline unit. He's not really a unit where he's trying to like dive the back line and then de-aggro himself so he can kill the carry. He's more so like, I'm going to tank everything and I'm going to try my best. There is another duelist player with Keepers, so I know I'm going to be contested. But I've been bitching about this for a while. Keepers is very strong with duelists. It's one of the best augments you can have for a duelist. I messed up my positioning a little bit. Technically, the Yone should be on the Hex because then the Yone gains the Execute. This guy looks really fucking strong though, right? He's level 7 on 3-2. You know, like what the fuck? Has a Lee Sin for fun as well. Just gonna grief both the duelist players. Right? Tom Kench upgraded 3 items. This 3 items. Like, what the fuck is this? I think he full streaked with Diamond Hands, right? He's 100 streaking with Diamond Hands. So every turn he's gaining like 2 gold extra. He is so far ahead. Like, yes, he's 0 gold. And it looks like really troll. But going to level 7, like, it is so fucking insane. Like, he's level 7 on 3-2. He's gonna be level 8 by this. Like, what? Like, holy shit. He could have greeted a lot more though. Like he could have, like, I think he would have beat me if he was still level 6. He didn't have to like all in there, right? Because he's already like extremely fucking strong. But yeah, now Janna appears. I'm down to get a Hodge off Janna. I'm kind of rolling for like Lee Sin-ish items, right? Here's a glove, a tier, another glove, redemption. None of these are super great. This has a TG, so I'm kind of down to take it. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, will I really hit something better than a TG, right? For me, I was looking for anything that's like super melee focused, right? And because there's 10 rolls, you can kind of greet a lot with those rolls. So here it's like, you know, Thieves Gloves is good, right? Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. I fixed my Yone positioning, by the way. I have this Galio. I decided to just sell it because it's gonna sacrifice my econ, right? Even though I have a bruiser in, it's like I'd rather just not play the Galio. I make Gunblade here because, you know, I'm just trying to slam all my items. Definitely, I'm going to make Gunblade. There's not really that many ways to kill a Rod in the Duelist comp, right? Usually, you're either making Guinsoo, but that's very Irelia focused, and that's really far away. Or you're making Morello, and then after that, there's not much you can make besides, like, tank items or Gunblade. Here, I just decide to make Gunblade. Gunblade might be a little bit troll because I already have 2 Hodges, so I already have a lot of, like, healing for my team, right? That's something I should focus on a lot because, like, you know, it's not necessarily the greatest thing. But I'm slamming items. I want to preserve HP, right? The biggest problem that you have, if you're contested a comp, right? There's a guy directly contesting Duelist 100%. He has Keepers. He has a Duelist start. He's 100% playing Duelist, and I'm kind of leaning towards Duelist now because of Keepers. When somebody's contesting you, the most important thing, always, is money and HP, right? You have to hit your board, but you also have to outlive your opponent, right? Inherently, unless somebody like really high rolls and things go like really awry, right, and that guy just hits everything, the chances are you're both going to be a weaker version of yourselves. So if you're a weaker version of yourselves, you both are going to lose against the lobby, right? The lobby is going to outscale you. The lobby is going to be stronger than you because you're contesting with somebody, right? Now, obviously, like, even if you don't contest with somebody, sometimes you miss on your own. Sometimes you high roll on your own. Of course, right? And Duelists especially, right? The only thing you're really looking for is a Lee Sin. So, like, you know, one Lee Sin usually stabilizes a lot of Duelist boards, typically, or one Irelia stabilizes Duelist boards a lot. So it's not the end of the world to be contested. A lot of times you can see even 3 people in a lobby playing Duelist. It's not the end of the world, really. But the thing is that you have to be very cognizant that, how do I phrase it? Like, preserving HP does matter still. Because in the case that you don't hit, in the case that things do go wrong, you want to have that option to outlive your opponent and just kind of, like, make it work, right? Here, I think I just barely lose against this guy. Okay, sorry for jump cut. I got a phone call from doctors, you know. It's alright. I'm fine. Don't worry. It was important enough that I had to stop this recording. And I don't have enough time to, like, start a new recording. Anyways, I lost against the Lee Sin guy. Obviously, he's playing Duelist. He has Keepers. He takes heavy hitters, which doesn't even seem like it's that good on Duelist. But I guess it kind of works, right? But it really doesn't make sense, right? Unless you're going for a reroll variation. And maybe he was considering reroll, but then he sees that he's contested, so he doesn't go reroll. Um, yeah, I don't know. Also, like, I'm holding on to this Gnar and this Kindred the whole time, right? I want it to be very clear, right? I'm not griefing this guy unintentionally, right? If I just randomly hit, like, a couple Gnars, like, let's say I had a Gnar 2 or a Gnar 3, I would 100% pivot, right? I can make it work with these items. I can make, like, Kindred Gnar work with these items. The thing is, I'm not hitting any Gnars, right? If I hit a bunch of Yones, I'm down to pivot to Yone. Did I hit any Yones? No. So, like, a lot of times when you're, like, I think people, like, in general, like, I struggle with this a lot, too, sometimes. But something that's really important to understand is, like, contesting people isn't, like, you're not, like, the Grim Reaper. You're not, like, the fucking face of death and, like, evil and, like, bad things, right? For, like, contesting somebody in a comp, right? And people aren't evil and mean and cruel and, like, you know, bad for contesting you as well. The problem, the only time you should be frustrated with contesting, or the only time you should avoid contesting, is when you have, like, a clear other option, right? If I had, like, 5 or 6 Gnars, right? Let's say I had, like, 5 Gnars on my bench. Do you honestly think it's a good idea for me to contest Duelists when I have that many Gnars? No, it's like, then you can pivot. Even if you have keepers and you have these other things, you can make it work, right? As long as there's, like, outs, right? Right now I have no out, right? I'm not just gonna start rolling all my gold to 0 looking for a Gnar, right? As you can see, I waited until now to put in the Duelist into my thing, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, am I committed Duelist? Up until now, I'm thinking to myself, am I committed Duelist? And now I finally kind of decide, yeah, I kind of have to commit Duelist, right? I have no other outs. I didn't hit any Yones, I didn't hit any Aloons, I didn't hit any Gnars, I didn't hit any Kindreds, right? There's not much for me to do, right? So the only thing I can do is play towards, like, a level, right? Because I don't have a reroll out. I have to play towards a level 8 comp, right? On level 8, maybe I can play, like, Heavenly Cain or, like, just General Reapers, right? There's some options I can play, like, going to level 8, right? Here, as you can see, I killed the other Rod. I made my Morello, and I have Titans, because a Titan's is a good tank item. I can make, like, a Hodge Titans, whatever, on somebody, right? But like, you know, there's not anything I can really do about my spot from now on, right? It's like I kind of just have to play towards Duelist or Kayn, but Kayn's, like, really weak compared to Duelist. This guy's just a Lilia player just holding a fucking Lee Sin, Fortune, cash out, so he has a bunch of components, so he's pretty strong. I know Lee Sin with Lee Sin is really good with the Lilia, but I don't know if in his spot it's that great, because he doesn't have, like, a Dragon Lord +1 or anything. This is really awkward. There's an Umbral Crest. I could definitely play towards Umbral here. I just don't have any Yones or Aloons. If I had, like I said, if I had 2 Aloons, I'd take it. I hit the nuts. I had Duelist Crest. I have Keepers, Duelist Crest, plus some kind of item efficiency. Like, this is... my spot's so fucking good right now, right? Like, I'm going to buy this Kayn, obviously, because it's somebody that I can play for now, right? Like, I'm playing this Kayn Morgana. As you can see, I'm only, like, 4 Duelists, whatever. It is what it is. Switch out the Yasuo for Kiana. I'm going to put these items on Kayn probably. And try and just preserve some HP, right? I put in this guy. I don't even know why. I think it's just for Reaper. Right, I have a Kayn on bench, right? I'm just kind of rolling as deep as possible because one, especially with the Duelist Crest, as long as I can hit 6 Duelists. Oops, I closed my inking. As long as I can hit 6 Duelists, I'll be pretty strong, right? As long as I can hit 6, I'll probably be pretty stable. This guy is Lucky Paws. Hit Well Fed, and hit like, these are some of the most insane augments for Kabuko, right? The reason is, like, bruisers have a lot of HP, so giving them Well Fed, that's like the Giga Bruiser augment, and then hitting Unified Resistance, it gives them a bunch of armor MR. So if you think about a tank, what are the 3 stats a tank wants? Armor, magic resist, and HP. So bruisers already have a bunch of HP, so if you have an augment that gives them a bunch of armor and MR, it synergizes insanely well that they're extremely tanky, right? So, like, you know, this lobby's pretty fucked, right? I'm slowly free falling. Here, red is red buff and a, so when it says red or blue with the Kindred, red is red buff and a Reforger. Blue is blue buff and a lesser duplicator. I take the blue buff and the lesser duplicator because I can use it on any of my particular units. And then I don't hit a Lee Sin, but I hit an Irelia. You know what? High roll, call me high roll, call me whatever. I understand, you know, be upset, yes, whatever. Streamer hits, YouTuber hits. I didn't find a single Lee Sin yet, right? The whole game was kind of bad, right? And the main thing that I see is, like, you know, I don't care, right? God said I needed a win, right? I went 8th in my last game, and trust me, it was kind of my fault, but it wasn't really my fault. I really missed every single unit when I rolled down. It was one of those games, right? So, you know, obviously I'm not going to show you the 8th game because like I say, a lot of people don't like to watch those games when I low roll. But, you know, Irelia is really good. The reason Irelia is really good is because, like, I'm still 5 duelists because I had to sell a Yasuo, and now I have to put in a new Yasuo, but I don't have one. I don't have a Lee Sin, right? I'm missing a Volibear as well. I haven't found a Volibear yet. So, you know, these rolldowns are pretty bad, but I just need to stabilize, and I'll be fine, right? The most important part for my game right now is just hitting, like, some level of stability, right? As soon as I hit some level of stability, I can win out, right? My augments are that strong. It's just a matter of hitting. Now I have this Lee Sin. I'm going to be 6 duelists with Lee Sin. I should be fine, right? From now on, I shouldn't really lose any fights. I know I was playing this Kayn for a little bit, and this Yone. It's just like Umbral Shield works kind of well. I'm just trying my best to like make something work. I have a random Kha'Zix on my board, which isn't good, you know. But now I have Lee Sin. It should all be fine, right? I should be okay. Tristana 2, so I get 1 upgrade here, and a Volibear. So now I have the Volibear. So this is great. And I'm just gonna Duelist Emblem the Diana. Duelist does reduce the amount of damage they take, so it's pretty good, right? I'm kind of down. And I want Titans on Lee Sin as well. And I'll just put him in the front row for now. Put in a Volibear, right? I know I'm 7 duelists, but oh, never mind, I switch him out. Yeah, and then I'll put the Volibear here, and I'll put this here. I'm just trying to get some keepers value, right? Surround the Lee Sin a little bit. The Lee Sin should be in the front line though, right? Lee Sin, you really want him to drain tank. You really want him to take some damage and then do some damage, right? In return. Especially with Edge of Night, right? I really want... the Edge of Night isn't a really great Lee Sin item. But I don't really have like a lot of Kianas that I can really successfully itemize towards the Kiana in this spot. Excuse me. But now you can see I'm fairly strong, right? This guy was the guy that like high rolled the whole game. Remember this? I think this is the Diamond Hands like level 8 guy and everything, and just like streaked the whole game. Now I'm pretty stable, right? That's why like preserving HP was really important, right? Slamming items early was really important. As you can see, like I'm contested. I'm sure the other duelist player, I think it's this guy, was holding a bunch of the duelist things, but my spot is really fucking good because of my augments, right? This augment set, it's like almost bis, right? The only thing I can have better is like extended duel, right? If I had extended duel keepers duelist emblem, I think that's like the giga best duelist augments you can have. But now watch this guy. This guy has a Lee Sin 2. He has keepers, level 8, has a Rakan, but doesn't have Irelia. I'm only 7 duelists, by the way. I'm not 8 duelists, so we're just comparing based on like combat augments. And I'm pretty sure I beat this guy. Irelia does a shit ton of damage, and just in general, my augments are really strong, right? Heavy hitters isn't that great. Oh wait, does he beat me? Oh no, he beats me. Never mind, never mind. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I'm stronger than this guy. I guess it's heavy hitters and Lee Sin 2. He just about beats me. That's kind of sucks. But it was close. It was close. I think for sure I beat that guy later in the game. The only problem is this blue buff. I don't really know who to put blue buff on in this comp. It's probably going to just be Volibear, if I'm being honest. So I'm probably just going to blue buff Volibear. I really need to just find like an upgrade, honestly. Like if I get 8 duelists, I'm stable, right? If I can find like 1 extra duelist to play. Oh wait, I did find 8 duelists. Wait, where did I find this guy? Did I just find him now? Did I have him on bench? I didn't play him before? Wait, now I'm curious. What the fuck happened here? Oh, did I buy him too late? Who was I missing? Wait, I had 8 duelists this turn. I didn't play it? Oh no, I wasn't fast enough. What happened? I'm 6 duelists. I'm rolling. I find him. Oh, this is what happened. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that's my bad. Damn it, I could have beat this guy. Oh, that was so bad. That's bad of me. That's actually really bad of me. That's actually really bad of me. I was just too slow. I was so curious. I'm like, who am I missing? I thought I was missing Yasuo, but I found him last turn. Oh, I would have been 8 duelists that turn. It's such a big spike, especially if you have Irelia. Because the starting attack speed on Irelia matters a lot. And, like, the other units, it doesn't matter that much. But, oh, shit. Because I was even the guy that's contesting my comp, right? So it matters a lot to beat that guy. Because, like, you know, him dying earlier, the earlier that guy dies, the easier it is for me to hit my comps. Or hit my items. Or my units, right? Okay, I'm Lee Sin paired now. I get another tier. I'll probably just make redemption here, just have some extra frontline damage, right? Frontline matters a lot now because I do have an Irelia, right? So long as, like, besides the comps that scam the backline, if you have like mirror melee comps or like front to back comps, like a Syndra comp, for example, frontline matters a lot more just because the Irelia does so much damage, right? Even though it's Irelia 1, Irelia is just fucking insane in terms of like damage output. So here, I'm just making some Volibear items. Like, for example, this comp frontline matters a lot because my Irelia will like scale damage into late really strong. This guy is fucking insane. He has like 6 Nautilus. Went for Nautilus 3 or some shit. But yeah, like I said, it was a very rocky game. That's why having HP matters a lot. I'm still 2 lives, right? I would have been 3 lives if I think I would have been 3 lives if I played 8 duelists against that other guy. I for sure beat the other guy, the other duelist board. But it really matters a lot. I think I can win out, right? I think I could not like win out, like go first, because obviously there's this guy that's really far ahead on gold. So I think he's just greeting, right? He's just sacking and he's trying to go like level 10 or some shit, right? Like, look, he's level 9 and he beat the Kabuko guy. He has like all upgrades, right? So like the reason he lost a bunch of HP was he basically sacked all of stage 4, right? And that's why I was able to beat him, because he was just so rich that he was just going fast 9, right? From this spot, and now I hit a Rakan, right? I think Rakan is better than Diana in some situations, but I have a Diana too, so it's a little bit scary. But I wouldn't mind putting Rakan in next level, right? Obviously. And then keepers, like, you can greed to have more keepers value. I see some people play like the hexagon like this with keepers, but I think it's not really worth it. I think it's better just to have like the other things. But now that I have Lee Sin too, I think I can win out. Like, I think this Kabuko guy, he's greeding to go like 9, maybe 10. Like, I definitely beat him right now, right? Silas 1, like, not that many upgrade. Like, he has a bunch of upgrades, but it's like he's carrying like a fucking, like, that's supposed to be an Irelia, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I can beat this guy. Like, my Lee Sin might out drain tank. Yeah. Yeah. This is what I mean, right? Oh, this is so clutch. The Kabuko walked so slow that the Edge of Night despawn, Kabuko just walked around and then he went back to the Lee Sin. But yeah, this is what I mean by the Irelia damage, right? 8 duelists, you see how fast she's moving? It's almost as if she has a Gwinsu, right? So obviously finding Irelia early was really high roll, but I missed on everything else and I lost a bunch of HP. But it just goes to show you how strong my augment combos are, right? Like this keepers, everything, right? There was 2 people at Lee Sin 2s. I was kind of lucky to even find this Lee Sin, to be honest, because there's like 6 gone from the pool. Right, this guy's even holding an extra one. Like, holy shit. So really high roll towards the end here, but I think I could have still maybe played for like a 4th. Here I'm just positioning opposite side. I think it's a little bit better against some of these more explosive damage, right? Like, I don't want to be on the same side as this Azir, because if my Lee Sin's here and he just gets like fucking one shot before I can stack up Titans, because Azir just does a shit ton of damage. I just want to be ready. Like, obviously my Lee Sin, I know what you're going to say. My Lee Sin won't get one shot because he has Edge of Night. But the problem is, like, he'll just get re-aggroed from the Azir because the Azir shoots like a triangle. He shoots like a cone, right? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can beat this guy. Good positioning, right? As you can see, my Lee Sin lives with, like, a little bit of HP. If my Lee Sin was dead, I don't think I win the 1v1 against the Azir, right? But other than that, typically, like, typically you're not scared of Lee Sin dying. Typically, like, you're okay with, like, you put something in the hard corner just so he doesn't take first damage aggro, right? And he can start to ramp up. And then you usually put him in the second spot, right? Because usually in this corner, if there's a carry here, they immediately target the closest, so it gets hit here, right? Or if Lee Sin's here, it immediately gets targeted. So you usually put him, like, one spot over, right? Depending on, like, positioning, you put him one spot over here, and you, like, put it to the side, you know, and it's fine. Here there's a Bloodthirster, right? I'm looking at who I'm fighting against, right? I'm either fighting against this Ashe player who needs to die, right? So this guy I need to beat in order to get top 4. And this guy's the guy that's contesting me. So if he can die before me, then I could maybe have an easier chance of hitting some upgrades, or maybe even hitting like a 3-star Kiana. I'm holding a bunch of these Kianas for that reason. just because of that. So what I do is I just commit my duplicator, right? Obviously, I can hold the duplicator and greed it to go for Kiana 3, but if I'm playing against this duelist guy, I need to make sure that I win this fight. And now that I have 8 duelists in, I am certain that I'm stronger than him. I have way better augments, right? 8 duelists with keepers versus keepers and like martyr heavy hitters. It's like, nah, like those aren't real duelist augments, right? Also, I have an Irelia. This guy doesn't have an Irelia yet, right? Yeah, it doesn't look like he has an Irelia. And this is a really big fight for me, right? Because, look, winning against this guy is really important. This guy could win as well. But anyways, I'm pretty guaranteed top 4 now, right? Because one of these two will have to fight each other, and they'll probably, one of them will die, right? I'm at least 2 lives, so I can take 2 lives. Like, unless I fight this, and these guys both fight ghosts. Like, it's very unlikely that both of them are going to outplace me now. Right, as opposed to if I lost to this guy, then then it's like RNG. It's like whoever loses more HP loses, right? And that's why HP matters a lot, right? As soon as I hit Lee Sin 2, it's like a slight win out. This guy's a lot stronger now, right? He has Silas 2 Irelia, right? Irelia is really important, especially with Guinsoo, because his Irelia is gonna ramp up with the Kabuko, right? The fight goes to overtime a lot of the time when you're fighting against Kabuko, Lucky Paws. So the chances are I won't be able to beat the Kabuko guy. This guy who's playing, what's it called? The guy who's playing, Ashe, the Ashe player is not as scary to me because I think, like sometimes Ashe can just like explode you, but I think Lee Sin has a decent matchup into Ashe sometimes. It's like really, it's really board dependent, but he's not as scary as the Kabuko player. Because look at this Kabuko player, double Guinsoo Irelia. So this Irelia is just ramping up damage. I happened to kill it first, but she did so much damage to my board that look at how the fight's a lot more different, right? Now my Irelia is dead, and the Kabuko is still like really high HP. He's not even close to death, right? And like I said, these two just fought the 2 stronger guys. They're 1 life. They die. So yeah, I just get the win out here. This guy is just the guy who's really strong, right? Level 9, streaking the whole game, really rich. Converted into like a really strong board, has a bunch of legendary upgrades, a pretty nice flex board, really great player. And then Kabuko. I think that if I wasn't contested, right, as you can see I'm level 8 because I spent so much of my gold trying to roll for everything, right? If I was like up to tempo with everybody, like if I was like uncontested duelist, then I'd be level 9 and this would be like maybe a play for first situation. This is, oh, that's what it was. So the portal was pot of gold. Holy shit. That's actually really bad for me because now they just go level 10 because they weren't rolling for anything. So me, I just go straight to 9 and I start rolling. I'm trying to use all my gold. I hit Irelia 2. I just start moving my spot, right? I don't know if I'll win, but what's it called? I just need to I put in the Recon. I need to grab items, right? There was a lot to do this round. I'm not sure what's best. I just take Sterex, just shove it on somebody. Yeah, shove it on Recon. I want to be on opposite side because like I said with the Azir, remember last time, I just don't want to get wiped early. I do have Irelia 2. I might be able to beat this guy. But it's really difficult. It just comes down to like if this Azir ramps up his Guinsoo too high and starts doing a shit ton of damage, right? Ooh, this is close. I think I win though because my Irelia is so far away from his Azir. Nice. Yeah. This guy's level 10. I beat him. Nice. I have a lot of gold to roll. I don't think I beat the Kabuko guy though. The Kabuko guy with the Irelia probably has Irelia 2 as well. I should hold this Irelia just in case he doesn't have Irelia 2. But I think he already has Irelia 2. I hit Recon. I'm basically rolling all my gold now. I know for sure that I'm dead if I fight the Kabuko player, and I am fighting the Kabuko player. We gotta hope that it's Ghost, but I don't think it's gonna be Ghost, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. Ooh, this is a bit troll. Yeah. Okay, so I know I had Recon too. I think I was dead anyways. Right? But I think that was kind of troll. I decided too late. I sold Recon because I was trying to roll for Kiana 3 and I wanted to use the money to try and hit like this guy, like Wukong 2. But I think it's like a clean wipe. I don't think Recon really changes this board. Like look at like this is why I really wanted Wukong because Wukong's a little bit stronger. I don't really need Sage, but Heavenly does help out a little bit. Yeah, I'm just dead. It was a little bit of a delayed death. Oh well. But that's just how it is, right? But I know the last turn seemed a little bit troll. Like I had Recon 2 and then I just sold it. It was just because like in my head I said I don't think I need the extra speed. Like I know it's Recon 2, but what I looked at is I said I don't think the Recon 2 is gonna make a difference in terms of damage, right? I don't think the extra Dragon Lord, like the 3 Dragon Lord, will matter that much. I'd rather have a little bit of Sage, because it could help out like some of my front line just live a little bit longer, right? Because if I happen to kill the back line somehow, which is very unlikely, then the Omnifab might make it so that the Kabuko has a harder time breaking through like my Lee Sin and stuff like that. But I'm just completely outclassed, right? The whole fucking board just fucking wiped me. Like the fucking Tahm Kench is wiping me, right? This Irelia taking no fucking damage, right? But as you can see, this is what I was saying, like a little bit, like I don't think the Recon would have mattered because even if I killed these 2 things, this Kabuko there's not enough of my units alive to overwhelm the Kabuko. So that's what I was kind of going for. Anyway, so this was just like a normal duelist game. This is why I complain about keepers a lot, right? Keepers is just really strong value a lot of the time. It's just really fucking annoying. And hopefully, yeah, hopefully they nerf it, but they're not nerfing it tomorrow. So like I don't know when they're ever gonna nerf it. But yeah. Hopefully this was an enjoyable video and hopefully it's fun. Thank you. Have a great day.